With just 3 rounds left of the Aviva Premiership, the race for the top half and Champions Cup rugby was in full swing. With several clubs still hoping for one of the 4 semi-final berths, the fixtures threw up some intriguing matchups. Bath kicked off the weekend under the Friday lights at the Rec. Their opponents, London Irish, proved stubborn opposition in the first half. Despite being down to 14, the Exiles were able to go over for the first try of the match, with the conversion sending them into the break with a 1-point lead. Bath came out swinging in the second period. After Leroy Houston had powered over to restore the Bath lead, Jonathan Joseph's touch of magic put him over for the score of the night. Matt Banahan notched the third before the bonus point was added by Sam Burgess. The rugby league icon would go on to take man of the match, his first in rugby union, a real sign of how well he is adapting to life in the forward pack. Semisar Rockadunguni got Bath's 5th, and despite a late Irish consolation, the evening belonged to Mike Ford's men, who sat in second place overnight. In Milton Keynes, it was a rerun of last year's Premiership final, with Saracens eager to put the champions to bed and reclaim second spot from Bath. They made the perfect start, in-form Chris Wiles opening Sarries' account after just 5 minutes. He'd score a second not long after, giving his side an 8-point lead. England centre Luther Burrell set about reducing the arrears for Saints, rampaging through the opposition defence before handing Sammy Manoa a simple run-in. With the game in the balance, Billy Vunipola scored a gilt-edged chance with the try line gaping before he was sidelined through injury. After a change of strip at half-time, Saracens were made to suffer by the boot of Stephen Myler. The experienced fly-half nudged over 4 successful penalties to give Saints a 5-point cushion. And despite hitting the post with his final attempt, Jim Mallinder's men would not be caught. Northampton are now guaranteed a playoff spot, while Sarries' quest to reach second place is now out of their hands. Saturday also saw a thriller at the AJ Bell, between 2 of the mid-table clubs still hopeful of a top-half finish. 2 charge-down tries gave Quins an early edge, the first after a brilliant pick from Charlie Walker. And some trademark smooth handling gave the visitors a 3rd score, Marlon Yard running home after a superb layoff from Nick Evans. After Kerr had gone over for the bonus point score, Steve Diamond shook things up at half-time. On came Tom Arscott for the Sharks, who made an immediate impact, linking up with Danny Cipriani to get Sale back into the match. And a second score after a brilliant Sam Tuitupo inside pass gave Arscott his 12th of the season. With Quins on the ropes, Sale added a 3rd. This time Mark Cueto went over for his 89th score in the Premiership, leaving Sharks within 2 points with a conversion to follow. Joe Ford had the all-important kick, but his effort struck the post, agonising for the hosts, with Quins fans breathing a huge sigh of relief. 2 teams in desperate need of a league win met at Kingsholm as Challenge Cup finalist Gloucester met Newcastle. The visitors made the early going, Mark Wilson finishing off a flowing team move. Falcons added a second through Sinotti, but were pegged back after a scintillating Gloucester break. Billy Burns slotted in Billy Twelvetrees, with the captain putting his team on the scoreboard. The sides then traded scores in the second half, Newcastle notching their 4th through Italian international Josh Furno. With that, Falcons looked odds-on for an away victory. But then came the home onslaught. 12trees and then Henry Purdy rattled over for Gloucester, reducing their arrears to just 3. And on 80 minutes, Burns wriggled through to break Newcastle hearts, handing the lead to the hosts for the first time in the match. Basement club London Welsh travelled to Welford Road playing only for pride, but that was dented just 3 minutes in. Ben Young slipping through the gaps for Tigers to give them the early lead. But it was far from cut and dry for Leicester, and indeed they went into the break trailing after Corey Britton powered his way over the whitewash, handing the Exiles a 3-point lead. A brace of tries from the excellent Lawrence Pearce after the restart quickly restored order, before he was struck illegally by Chris Hallow-Afia. And with the red card produced, Welsh were down to 14. With the try bonus sealed, the final try of the match was scored by another Youngs, this time brother Tom, adding to the Tigers' tally. There was a huge game at the top end of the Aviva Premiership on Sunday, as Wasps hosted Exeter Chiefs. The home side got off to the perfect start after just 70 seconds, when number 8 Nathan Hughes provided Christian Wade with the simplest of scores. Andy Goode converted from the touchline, but the Chiefs were back level within 3 minutes. Scrum half Will Chudley seeing a gap in the defence and racing in to score, Henry Slade adding the extras. A hat-trick of penalties from Goode put Wasps in control, and on the stroke of half-time, Di Young's men got their second try. With the visitors' pack in retreat from a 5-metre scrum, the referee had no choice but to award a penalty try. But Chiefs were right back in it with a try just before the hour mark. And it was no surprise who was on the end of it. The league's top try scorer Thomas the Tank Waldrum adding another to his ever-growing collection. Wasps were in need of something special, and scrum half Joe Simpson was more than happy to oblige. The Englishman providing an electric burst of pace to run in from 50 metres.
He runs into green space, he's running for the line, he might be running for the playoffs!
Goode added the extras to take Rob Baxter's men out of losing bonus point range. However, with the last kick of the game, substitute Gareth Steenson slotted what could prove to be an all-important drop goal to grab them a solitary point. With just 2 rounds left in the league, Northampton looked good value for first place after defeating Saracens. 9 points separate the chasing pack, with every club from Bath to Wasps in with a chance of reaching the semi-finals in May. Victory in Sale means Quins move within a point of the Sharks, and the Falcons' wait for a win goes on after agonising defeat at Kingsholm. They stay 11th, winless Welsh remain on a solitary point. So for all the latest Aviva Premiership news, subscribe to the official YouTube channel or log on to premiershiprugby.tv.